Justin Marshall?
Oh, he's on via Zoom. He had an
Okay,
executive
excellent.
session. He had to attend, so he called, said that he wasn't gonna be able to make it here in time after that got done, so he's here
Okay.
on Zoom.
Very good. How are you?
I'm coming. I'm sorry. It's a long walk.
I see. We ready for our pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, let the roll call show all are present. And we do have a quorum. I'd like to open with a prayer, invite those that wish to join me, please do. Lord, I pray that you look down upon us, servants of the people, and give us guidance in our decision for the betterment of the town of Shoshoni. I wish you'd bless all of our employees and our police officers. They all work so hard for our town. In your name I ask, Lord, this, amen. Now a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Moved by Councilwoman Harkey, second by Councilman Stetler to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, poll same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Any communications from citizens? Do we have anybody online raising their hand?
Negative.
I'll move on if we have no communications from citizens. Consent agenda, can I have approval of the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Council Whitener, second by Councilwoman Harkey. Any discussion? Any discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. There again, do we have any, I don't see any appearances by citizens, public presentations, and have anybody in the audience? Or online that's waving their hand? None being, we have a building permit. RV. Filmer Crossroads RV. Kim, could you speak on that?
Oh, it's, they're going to be putting up the rest of the fencing. So around,
Around the perimeter of the
Fourth.
property?
yeah, Fourth, down Idaho, and then down Fifth to the park.
That's a nice looking fence they're putting up, I think. It's a western look if you like the western look. It might not be good in downtown Boston, but she's showing it looks pretty good. Got a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Been approved by, motion's been to approve by Councilman Whitener. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Stetler. Any further discussion or questions about the fence?
I'm assuming they're gonna have the setbacks, right? I mean, it shows it right up to the very edge of the property, but there's, I mean,
You can put a fence there to the property.
there's not a sidewalk there. I didn't, so it seems like I did not see this. Packet come through until like 3 today, so
Okay.
I have not had time
Okay.
to review it. That was,
Sorry, that was a communication.
She thought I sent it. I thought she sent it.
Yeah.
well, I wasn't complaining, I'm just making excuses for,
Well, no, we ought to ask these questions,
but
Councilman.
I don't think there's a sidewalk. There's here,
On which part?
there is
You
one
talk
along
on
Idaho.
California, or-
There's
California.
sidewalk on California and
Yeah.
it's set back off the sidewalk on
Mhm.
California.
There's
And
one
then
on-
on,
Which has already been approved and built.
and then on Idaho Street, it's set back because there's still trucks parking there.
What street?
Oh, third.
Fifth, or yeah,
Third.
Third Street,
Correct.
whatever. My bad, I'm turned backwards here. I was thinking I was sitting this way.
There, I know Crossroads RV Park.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
Fast Lanes
So I think there's some,
consulted each other on
I think there's
that.
some confusion here because they're talking Fourth Street, which is right here.
Right,
Right,
We're not talking about Third.
Right,
Right.
fourth.
Yeah, it's an abandoned Fourth Street, but it's still it's still Fourth Street.
It's
So I think they're talking about
between town.
between, you know, where they have that little drive-in when you come in here to drive in the RV park and there's that gravel drive-in. They're talking about putting that fence on that side of it, on their own property.
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
own.
That was my own, I just was trying to envision where the sidewalks were.
Well, it
based
just,
off
it just hit me
drawing.
when you were bringing that up and I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, oh,
First-
never mind.
Yeah, Fourth
They-
Street's there.
Yeah, yep.
And then it does show a setback on Idaho, so that would be for the sidewalk, I'm sure, so.
Mhm.
I didn't get this earlier, so I hadn't had time to
the
work through it.
improvements like they did.
I think they're trying to discourage some of the traffic that's going across the prairie.
going through their thing.
Yeah, because they drive through right.
I've
through here.
seen one individual, I won't say names, drive through there many times as a cut across.
And I know a guy used to drive through there back in the day when it was a football.
Hey, we're not
field.
talking. I was just the one that got caught.
Anyway,
And now
I
look,
had no
they're
effect.
allowing
I had
people
work
to
through it.
drive through there.
You were a trendsetter.
See, that was ahead of my time.
That's right.
But anyway, that's what they're trying to slow down.
Oh, it looks nice.
And it
the
looks
work they've
good, yeah.
done.
Very nice.
Any more discussion? None being all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. No unfinished business, go down to new business. Budget amendment expenditures. Do you want to lead that, Kim, or did Chris, or how are you two guys?
It's my request. I asked
Yeah,
her how much
I'll
money
let-
we had,
yeah.
so
I'll let
Okay.
him-
I sent the memo out, but apparently, nobody got it.
I read that at break.
I can't log
Yeah.
into my email.
See any kind of people.
Okay, I will work on it.
Okay.
In a nutshell, so what this is we have $16,579 in unallocated budget remaining in this fiscal year. While we were setting this fiscal year's budget, I requested in the police budget for a dispatch contract, $19,410. That was prior to our dispatch contract going up, that's set by the county. They didn't notify us until August, after the budget had been set, after we were already into the year. At my request, I have reprogrammed $4,500 of my budget to cover the shortfall. The actual cost of this is gonna be $28,673. So I was able to reprogram my existing allocated funds to cover half of that. And so I need to request an additional budget increase to that line item to pay for the rest. In the memo I outlined, there's two different things that can be done. The total increase of the budget needs to be $9,263. That would restore my reprogrammed funds back to my line items that I could utilize this budget year. The alternative is to keep the reprogram money in place and only increase the budget by $4,763. And the recommendation that I'm recommending is to leave in place the reprogram funding. And only increase the budget by $4,763. I do believe that leaves me with enough discretionary spending to get through this fiscal year where I won't need. Basically, that's money I was gonna give back anyway, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think that it's not taking up all of my budget where I'm unable to go out and buy staplers, is what I'm saying.
I got a question for you, Chief. We approved some budget for help with, assisting the PD, and the court with a clerk.
The part-time,
What-
you mean?
Yeah, where, do we have still funds for that or? what?
We had-
Is that in part of this? Is that
No.
part of this?
No, the reprogram funds are discretionary funds that I have in ammunition.
Right,
Whatever, and I reprogrammed those funds to allocate towards this line
right,
item. So it takes away, if I had, say, $5,000 left in this line item to spend, now I only have 500. Because I reprogrammed it for this, but what I'm saying is that what's been reprogrammed, it leaves me with sufficient budget to get through the rest of the year.
So you're pretty confident by the expenditures from now until June 30th that you should be in good
Yeah,
shape?
'cause, I mean, I would be totally fine if you're like, go ahead and keep your reprogrammed funds and go on a spending spree. I'm fine with that, but I'm not asking for that because I don't need it. Because that's what would happen if you restored all that, gave me the full amount of the budget increase. Now I have access to those funds again to be able to spend and utilize for, buying new guns or whatever that case might be.
Safety meeting at Sweelers. or
Yeah.
something.
But I think everyone here knows that I try and look what I can do within the confines of the existing budget before increasing it. I'd rather reprogram money than just raise the budget arbitrarily just because we can. Because that just induces more ability to spend if it's not needed. And I don't think in this case, this part in the year, I think I can get by just fine. It leaves me with about $7,000 of discretionary spending amongst all, uniforms, firearms, stuff like that. So I think I'll be just fine for the police department side. I won't go have to ask Mike for a loan from one of his departments to loan me some money or,
we got about a third of the year left, a little less.
Yeah.
Approximately. Yeah.
but we have a lot of what we need. There's some things I do have to order. So that's where the 4,500 came up that I was able to free up that I think that will.
Move that we follow the chief's recommendation of increasing line item 10-54-350 by $4,763. For the
Second,
fiscal year 25 budget.
It's been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Harkey that we raised the budget as suggested by the chief of police. I'm reading that, where's the amount?
4763.
Yeah, 4763. Line item 10-54-350. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, the same. Motion passed in the affirmative.
Mr. Mayor, I do have a question for the chief, though. I think this is all great. It's about that, but is the county gonna let you know what that cost is earlier than, August or October or whatever that silly day was, considering budgets go in effect on the 1st of July?
Normally, we have it by May. We have a budget, a dispatch committee. I'm not gonna make excuses for the county because they dropped the ball.
Yeah,
Can you explain a little bit to the council how the county comes to what they charge us for
So-
dispatch?
There's a rubric that takes into account calls for service. And police activity, and there's a total amount fixed cost for dispatch services. And from that rubric, it's Lander, Sheriff's Department has their own line item that pays into that dispatch, so it's split with the sheriff's office as well. Du Bois and Shoshoni. Riverton has its own dispatch center, so they're separate. They don't pay into the county, so they have their own. And out of that rubric, every year we we recalculate based on the running last 3 years of call volume, and Shoshoni continues to increase from call volume, from self-initiated activity as well as calls for service. And there was a part in time where they wanted to increase this almost double because of our radio traffic for traffic stops that we do. They felt that that was using up a lot of resources, which is why we said, okay, that's fine. We'll go buy computers and do it ourselves, which we did. So, yeah, I know. But, in a nutshell, that's how that's set, is by that. We usually have dispatch contract or, committee meetings where we go through those and amongst all the agencies and go through that rubric and make sure that they're not overcharging us for calls. Like I know what's going to happen when we're helping Riverton. We're not going to be charged for that, but they're going to have that. They're going to try and charge us for that. They're not going to, because that's not, we're helping Riverton. We're not helping the county, and they're not going to charge us for it.
Chief,
So things like that.
I got a question for you. Could you explain to the council the negative, what would be on the negative side for the Shoshone, the dispatch through Riverton instead of the county?
Well, I can say that there's been initial conversations about the ability for Riverton to take on more of a load because they're a smaller dispatch center. And what that would look like. It could cost more, it could cost less, it could be better service, it could be worse. I don't have all those answers at this time, but that's certainly a option to consider and look at. That would require
Right.
the working amongst them, obviously offering that.
I know past Mayor Guard, that was an initiative he brought to me.
But that's not something that we can't just say, we're gonna go with Riverton instead of the sheriff's
Right.
office. It'd be them opening that door and us taking a look
Right,
at it,
right.
coming up with that.
And it would have to benefit Shoshone before we want to do that.
Yeah, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I hope the county's listening.
I gotta work with them.
Yeah, I know.
And we,
But anyway, I mean.
and two other deputies now work for us, so I gotta be careful. They might be not happy.
Thank you.
But they're not the only ones selling hats in town. That just, but anyway, yeah. Yeah, they did raise this, they did raise.
But I do want to make a note, it was the county clerk's office, not the sheriff's office, that was at fault. And this is why we had that lateness that caused this snafu.
Thanks. Town cleanup, Mike, or were you gonna talk about town cleanup, or who's talking about town cleanup?
Town cleanup.
Yes, thank you.
I have the bird permit set for April 1st to June 1st. That has been approved already. So. And you guys know when we can appoint a date. We start town cleanup.
Okay. Would you have any plans to do like, what did we do last year? I know we didn't do as much as we had in the past, I don't think, but are we gonna be open for a day or two to let people bring Up to dump.
Probably for the week, for 1 week.
for a week and have dumpster
Yeah.
set up through one of the
Yeah. Also,
Garbage
we're
suppliers.
gonna Redo the flyer.
right,
We're gonna take tires,
right.
take too much money to try to get rid of them.
Yeah. We accidentally took some last year because
Yeah, it was on that flyer.
yeah,
So we have to redo our flyer.
because they as expensive to get rid of. They don't want them.
The Rifle Club would like to coordinate their cleanup day of the range with the cleanup days for the town, just because of dumpster accessibility and other things like that. So there'll be one day, not a week, though. Is there a suggested date that could be, that I could tell the club, hey, let's
No, I
plan
don't
that cleanup
think
day
we-
for this time?
Pick a week.
Yeah. So-
April,
Weekend in April?
yeah.
When is the actual week itself? That,
I really haven't looked at it. I was thinking in April, I was thinking for my birthday.
yeah,
Maybe the second week in April.
so the second Saturday in April?
Tentatively, right?
Depends on weather.
Depending on the weather. Is
Second, that's Easter on Sunday.
it Easter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, probably the third.
Passover
Maybe
on
it's
Sunday.
Easter's on the
Easter's
20th.
Following, but that's still on Sunday.
Easter's on the
Second,
20th?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Easter's on the 20th. I thought we're looking at the 12th.
You could do May though, because you have it till June.
Yeah.
And it's
First week of May,
the first full week of May, yeah.
first week of May.
Oh. So we don't think of.
That's more-
So,
Oh, that's-
Mike,
I'm
the
tired, Mike.
5th through the 12th or the 4th through the 10th or, what? Yeah,
Yeah,
4th
we
through
do
the
the
10th,
fifth through
5th through the 11th?
Yeah.
Of May?
So Monday through to Sunday.
Yeah,
We need a motion for that.
What a fourth through 11th.
no, we don't have to.
Or fifth through-
I don't think anybody has any heartburn with it, so.
Yeah.
Steve through 11th.
No.
Christmas.
Hello?
It's a Christmas time.
We're talking about doing town cleanup the 5th through the 11th
Of May.
of May.
You're gonna bring in a couple roll-off dumpsters.
Any
in?
issue, if
We'll give
any
them.
issues with
That
that?
way we're getting around Easter and
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think it's
Yeah.
before, well,
burn days are still going on.
yeah, it's before school gets out and before summer really gets here and stuff like that. And, we'll have the wood chipper,
Oh,
the
yeah.
4-inch wood chipper. You'll have that by then.
All right.
And I'm ordering the swing set, so let them know that's it. I told you. So that's coming. So,
Where's
guess
the
let
swing
Bart
set?
know and Mike know they're installing a swing set.
Behind the, we talked about it, didn't
Was it-
we?
you said it
Yeah,
got
behind the
top.
senior center, that park.
Right.
Times.
It's got all the little kid toys there and they're all
Actually,
sweet.
we do.
And
water.
I think we're also gonna do away with horseshoe pits.
Yeah,
Because
nobody,
it's child safety.
I've never seen anybody use.
I don't see anybody use, I haven't used it in 20 years. I've thrown
But
horseshoes there, but I haven't used it in 20 years.
the reason I bring up the wood chipper, because it'll be a 4-inch industrial wood chipper.
Yep.
That,
And so that's gonna help a lot with the stuff in town where they can.
on the horseshoe pits,
And
I have
think
seen
you can
those
actually
used.
sell some of those wood chips or use them for around town.
The old gal-
Too.
used to work
There's
at
a
the rec
market for it.
department, and her husband are like state champion
World.
horseshoers.
I think he was third in the world or something. He was.
They use those.
Really, I didn't know. that.
Presently,
Yes, they live out there off of
Yeah.
Bonneville Road.
Tim and Karen James.
Yes, they use those. I have seen them at that park using those.
I've had people with children complain it's a safety hazard.
Your children live that side.
For horseshoes?
Yeah, well, cause they said they're afraid people could fall and get injured themselves and no one was using them. Like I said, I haven't. But
Keep track of your kids.
And pay attention.
If there's people actually using it,
Your
that's a
surroundings.
different.
that's a
story.
different story, yeah.
I have seen people use those. I don't know that would be. Now, will I say they're as active as the basketball court? No.
Right.
But
I'm sure of that.
I do see them used.
Well, they might be as active as the basketball court if we could get the Jameses to have a tournament.
Right. Get
Wow.
to use it. I just came to me and I didn't know anybody. I haven't seen anybody in years use it. So I haven't used, like I said, it's been like 20 years since I've
When was
used
the last time you hung out in that park?
Yeah.
In all fairness.
it, you know?
Well, we're gonna have swings, so you will hang out
I
now.
know. Well, I used to hang out, well, I haven't hung out there a lot since the 80s, honestly.
Cause they
When we
put out
used to
the
have the
swing.
firemen's had their barbecue and stuff there. Every year we had that big
They
barbecue.
done that in
So-
about 02, 03.
I don't know how we got off topic here, but
Yeah, I
burn
didn't
days.
either.
Yeah.
Oh, well, well, it's we're talking town cleanup, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should clean up the horseshoe pits.
Okay, okay, we won't.
Well, I can't imagine that if you're a world champion horseshoe, you don't have your own horseshoe.
In your
set up
backyard?
In your backyard.
But if you're a world champion horseshoe thrower, wouldn't you want to throw it other places than just your yard
Yeah.
to keep?
Does Riverton
Sure.
have their horseshoe pits anymore?
Yeah, they should have.
Okay, they used to have big tournaments there. Riverton did. Used to have some.
Are you saying you're gonna get a tournament started?
Oh, we can try. I don't know. If we're gonna keep the pits, we ought to. You know, I don't know if we can get any people, you know, Rod Holiday passed away, but him and his family were good horseshoe throwers, his dad, him.
I'm overwhelmed with what we got.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a Shoshoni Hot Summer Nice horseshoe.
Oh,
tournament.
I thought Jordan was
No,
volunteering.
no, I'm overwhelmed with what I got going.
Yeah, personally, I just don't see the need for them. I mean, if I were a horseshoer, I'd have my own pit and I have another pit, you know, I mean, that's what and I can't imagine, I mean, they have to be standards, I would think, in order to set that up. You know, it's gonna be this far apart, this sort of.
Well, they
And
do.
this sort of
They are
thing, this sort of
set
stuff, and I mean, just,
They are.
Yeah,
They're the
well, I
ones
bet they
that
would
probably, they're the ones that probably installed those. They've been the horseshoers for countless years. I don't think it's a good idea to tear those out.
for the 2 times they use it a year,
I still don't think it's a good idea
Yeah.
to tear it out.
or.
I don't know what the safety, people came to me as concerned about safety for children, which. But I don't know how big it feel that, you know,
There's
but
3 other parks.
they said, what'd you do if your kid ran over and got impaled?
Well,
They haven't had no
If I get
impoundments
walked
yet.
across the street, get ran over, you get hit, struck by lightning, probably as big a chance, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
I think if they're being used, we shouldn't remove them.
Right.
Yeah. Let me research it a little bit, I'll ask Tim. Let me research it and ask Tim. I actually know where he lives.
Yeah, I mean, and we got the world, third best in the world here.
Somewhere, he's top 10 in the world, I know that, I don't.
I don't think
remember
I would,
When you talk to him, have you set up a tournament?
Yeah. That's the answer.
what. The number hasn't changed since at least 2000. I don't know when he got a phone number.
I got his number. Yeah, I got it.
Hasn't changed, 25 years that I know of.
there's a safety risk for everything.
No, you're correct. And I
Barbecue
said that
grill,
to-
some little kid could stick their hand in the charcoal and burn themselves.
Swings.
I
The
did mention
swings are a
that,
safety risk too for the kid that's not being watched.
but what they asked me,
Yes.
does anybody use it? They said they've
No,
never.
I'm not
That-
getting
that
on
was
you.
my-
I'm just saying we can get into
No.
there's a safety risk for anything.
No,
you
I
say.
agree. And I brought that up to the person that complained to me, exactly that.
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
where
well,
I'm at.
If
Like,
no one's using it, why not eliminate the risk if no one's using it?
Pays me or
Well,
something. This.
the-
But we-
their argument.
to be on the safety risk side of things, we could put the removable stake, with a thread in there that you thread
You're
the
correct.
ring in there and you can thread it out if
Mhm.
it's that big of a deal. But I don't think
But if they throw those horseshoes as hard as I do, that's a joke. It was breaking off.
but
I couldn't hit one thing, but no,
I just
another gun maybe.
To be continued.
Yeah, okay, we'll research that.
sounds good.
B and B property sale. The question is, I've been approached by the realtor. I think I sent everybody emails
Nope.
about it. No?
I didn't get one.
I didn't get one.
Okay, I've been approached by the realtor with an offer for economic development on the B and B 4 lots that are left. They're commercial lots, they have highway access, which is worth a fair amount of money, it's good to have. And they recognize that. They want a option with 5 years to complete. They are looking at a couple things, they're looking at possibly 3 triplexes for housing. Be a good site, they're also potential car wash. And Water Buffalo there, they're looking at options, they, you know, I think they believe Shoshoni is gonna grow, I think you know, some of the activity we've been talking about here has brought interest. They have offered us $30,000 down. And 5,000 a year for the next 5 years,
20,000 down,
20,000
down.
was it
And
20,000?
then 5 for the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah, 55,000 total. I need to come up with 55,000 total.
45.
I thought it was 55.
45.
45.
Was it?
Yeah, right here.
What's your?
Oh, they sent it to you?
I
Okay,
saw it.
Oh, okay.
okay, so 45,000.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking?
Where's this property?
30,000 down?
DMV property?
That's just right across here.
So
It's-
we,
That big open lot.
we sold the shop end to that. It's on this side.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, okay, you got it.
That would be a good car
So,
wash.
yeah, 45K,
I just don't
Well-
like the fact that
Anything.
all
so.
these options. You know, they'd have.
I think maybe I asked, maybe I asked more, that's what maybe the offer was. You know,
How's that compare to market value? What does our realtor think about that?
it
He was happy.
leaves that's fair, basically, yeah, he thinks that's commercial lots, I think last, what are they appraised for 10,000 a lot?
Yeah.
That's over our last appraisal.
Okay.
Land may have came up since then. But he'll be committed, we'll have to put we can put some teeth in there if he doesn't develop as he says he's developed, we can put teeth in there where the price is more. We can put what I'm saying, we can put a penalty in the contract if he doesn't fulfill his obligation. We could also ask for interest on that remaining 25,000.
I don't think, from my standpoint, doesn't sound like he's got all the ideas can be fine, but sounds like we're all over the place. Housing, car wash.
Well, he is, what he
Have
wants to do is look at how the lay of the land develops and develop it whatever works best for him.
Is housing economic development?
Yes,
It is now. It is.
It is,
the state has identified it as economic development.
all right. Yeah, it'd just be, we want to try to build up
See,
services. in town.
we have had 2 offers to do that the Palace Council approved for doing exactly that was none of the offers were that high. The housing is a very important economic development driver. If we medical clinic starts up, they're gonna hire some local people, they may be hiring someone that comes in, but that's 7 to 9 jobs immediately, maybe more.
Mhm.
The Curry Rail Car Service, if that takes off, that's 15 to 20 jobs. I mean,
Yeah, I'm still on the old fashioned, what economic development is,
Yeah.
and I know you need to have to have places to live. I mean, I get that. But, and does have employees living in town to be able to work at some place that
right,
local, that would be great. I'd like to see some sort of business or industry going there, but that's I mean, I think that's what's gonna help Shoshone. I really think that's what's gonna help Shoshone, and I think that's what I understood. Now, I had no details discussion on any of this with anybody, just the world according to Mark was that I thought what the town was selling these, that they were really looking for traditional economic development. I understand the new,
Well,
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
actually decided to sell property, not concerning economic development.
We put it out for bid and received.
We were, well, we had two offers.
On economic development
Development.
previous, but when we just put those properties out for
We
bid,
got no bids.
we got 0 bids.
And that was,
I just did a quick little search. There's one house for sale in Shoshone. In case you wanted to move here, there's one.
the one.
I don't know.
Just in
I
case.
just found
It's
it.
right down here.
There's
Oh,
one house.
Has been.
Maybe there's more, but that's what comes up on a search.
it's
So
on the realtor,
on realtor search, but
There's,
On the
yeah,
other side of Second
well,
California.
there's one over here by the church.
Yeah, right.
And then there's this one, but this is the only one that shows on Realtor. This one is in like an estate situation, so it's not Realtor listed.
I've seen it come up when I've done searches, I've seen it come up.
Have you?
Yeah.
well,
But-
okay, so there's two.
Well,
but if you have.
the
a
point
bid-
is, there isn't that many.
They're in much housing
Yeah.
and all, so I.
That's right.
If you have a business coming in and they're looking for housing, the school love to have housing, we'd like to have housing, well, if we live here and not have to drive go to Riverton or Thermopolis to find housing, and it's tight over there too.
The way I took it when we were talking a little bit about it was. They wanna lock in and they know they can do this and this would be good. But if they could, they'd like to do that, but either way, it's gonna be one or the other, was my understanding. That was my take on it.
Right, that's their,
And either one, I think, would be pretty impactful for the town. But maybe not.
yeah, I actually think they're leaning towards housing.
There's not much available.
I'm in favor of housing. Cause that's the prominent need right now.
Agreed.
So
Like I said, when we sold the one of the lot, or I guess two of the lots. That was the only one that was bid on. These were put out for bid and we got 0 bid on them.
Mhm.
And there was no strings attached at that time.
Right, and
And that was what, 2 months ago, 3
right,
months ago?
we could list it again.
Maybe a little longer, within the last 6 months.
And he might be able to buy this for a lot less.
Right.
If we agreed to it, the last council would have sold it for a lot less.
Oh, yeah.
There's a 2 to 3 vote, I think, to sell it for $30,000, including the shop, 31 or 30.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah, all of it, including the shop. And we voted not to. But it was definitely a discussion. I think our other bids for building apartments were, what,
10,000.
one of them was like 16,000 and the other was maybe 30,000. First to build what he's saying he's gonna do there for less land. They were buying the shop and all.
I'm in favor of housing.
Yeah. Do we? Do you want me to see if I can negotiate a little more with him but this is.
No,
this is something we can
I
live
think the
with?
money's fine.
The money's
Okay.
fine. I just,
Okay.
the money's fine for me. I don't have any concern there. My only concern is I don't like this, or this. Like, I'd like to,
Have it locked in before we vote.
I'd like to really know what the plan is, like, because I don't like the fact of, hey, we're gonna do this, and then I just feel like that's too much gray area, and you kind of get back to when you were dealing an economic development deal back when there was a bar and grill at stake. And I remember some of them meetings, and your concern was, seems to me like you don't have a plan. You recall that?
we asked for a business plan.
Right, and this
And we
doesn't,
were selling that property way under.
it doesn't matter.
No.
Black and white's black and white, and if you don't have a plan, we don't have a plan. And it seems to me there's not a plan. So if we're gonna build housing, that's great, I'm all in.
He said he's gonna do one or the other,
But you've mentioned three options:
housing,
a water
well, the
buffalo.
water buffalo with the car wash. That was what was a combined unit. And if, we'd have that in writing. And there again, this is at least at market price. It's at least at market price.
The money hasn't, I'm not concerned about that whatsoever. If it's impactful to better our town, I could give a shit less if we damn near gave it away.
Mhm.
Like that's not, if it's gonna increase jobs and bring people here, that's not my stake. Like I'm not in the realtor business.
I say plan A and plan B.
I just like to know what the plan is. Are we gonna build a car wash? We're gonna build houses.
He just maybe he wants to protect himself and we don't have the increase for housing. He thinks maybe we need a car wash anyway. He's committing to one or the other. I can go back and ask him to commit to one and we can.
You know,
But
I think either is fine. I think we need a car wash in Shoshone. I'm fine with that.
I am
But,
too.
and I'm saying, sure, I guess. I just would like a timeline.
He did within 5 years.
Yeah.
That's his timeline.
Well, to have it completed in 5
Yes.
years or to break soil or.
To have
done.
completed in 5 years.
I think you should proceed with negotiations, get a written agreement and let's get her done. I wonder, I mean, I just keep thinking with this whole real estate deal, because we shouldn't be in the real estate business, but the town is. If we could just break the dam, start getting a little bit of real estate going out the door in the right direction. Maybe some of that,
And.
you know, some things, hey, that guy's doing, I'm gonna do it too, and just maybe it'd get the ball rolling and we can get rid of some of these properties in a positive use. Get rid of them, I'm not trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say.
And you know who the buyer,
Map.
you know who the buyer is also, right?
Oh,
Gene owns Viper Construction.
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
so he's a contractor,
He's a contractor.
a general contractor?
Yeah.
House contractor?
He's done a lot of work in the town of Shoshone.
Okay.
I've done a lot of the main sewer and water.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fairly good sized contract.
So he's built buildings before, housing.
He's-
buildings.
I don't know if he does that per se, but he's done
He's demoed some
infrastructure.
buildings.
What's that?
He's demoed some buildings.
Yeah, he demoed some buildings.
Was that to make your basketball courts, is that thing?
I don't
But-
think he did that. That was,
But in talking to
They
the
put,
realtor, he's in contact with a building contractor.
Okay.
He put the
That's
sewer in between
he's done this,
Pine and Maple,
yeah, sewer and water infrastructure in the town.
a lot of dirt work,
Yeah,
foundation work, and
What's his name again, the contractor?
Gino, what's his last name?
D'Angelo.
Huh? D'Angelo, yes.
G. D'Angelo, okay.
and Viper,
Viper Construction, he owns
Viper Underground.
Yeah, Viper. Yeah.
All right.
But it's,
They
he's
do good
a
work.
well-established contractor.
And they're well established in this county.
Yes.
Big, like he's bonded and things like that. You know,
They're solid people, him and his wife, they're. If he says he'll do it, I trust he'll do it. I mean, we'll still want the paperwork.
I'm not against, that
Mhm.
obviously helps some things, but I just would like to really know what Rowdy's.
Sure.
It'd have to be all written out, I think.
Because
He wanted the two options. All I'm doing is presenting an offer
I
that was
just,
made to me by the realtor. And so anything I get presented like that, I bring to the council.
no, I understand.
Yeah,
I'm just,
that's all I'm doing.
I think we get a contract written up, get it approved, that's what I
Yeah,
think.
I think I was asking a little more.
What do you
money,
feel?
that's-
We haven't said
I
any
think that we
30
need
down.
more details on it.
Huh?
That would be in the contract.
Well, you haven't said anything yet, and usually you voice your opinion, so where are you at?
Well, it's, I've seen so many of them fall through that,
That's why I don't wanna nitpick it till it falls apart.
I know.
That's what seems to be go.
Only thing I was just asking some more details on it.
I
In
think
what
I would
aspect?
have to legally be ironed out in the contract. So,
Well, for economic development, I'm sorry, I'll jump in here.
please.
For economic development, he's gonna have to have something more than maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. I'm not sure. I might do this.
A written business.
That will not fly for economic
That's my
development.
point.
If, I think he has two options, I think we'll fly, Chris.
I don't. think
Guarantee it will. It'll pass the
Marshall's on, he can talk about it.
guarantee. I've been working economic development for the state quite a bit. He's got a business plan.
So
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna have to present a plan.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
you're gonna
Have a
present
plan.
two
He wants an
plans?
option, he wants two options.
Yeah, if the council accepts both options, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking, he's gonna have to have a plan more than
Well,
just,
sure, I'm bringing this, to see if,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, that's what I'm bringing
Talking
this
same
to you
thing.
if I go on forward. That's what I'm doing.
So then he's gonna present us with two plans? Is that-
He will have, he wanted to present, I'm telling you what the offer was. He wanted to present two options. If we tell him we won't accept two options, I think we should. But if we want to tell him we won't accept two options, we gotta have one or the other, and we'll see what that does to the plan. I started meeting with him here 2 months ago at 8 o'clock at night in Riverton, because that's when he had time off to meet me.
Question. Didn't mean to cut the fight.
You know, he's a busy man.
Step up for a second.
That's what, me and him and I, we had a big conversation, another conversation, and this is what he hammered out. So I'm just bringing his offer to the council, and we can reject it if we want to. But I'd like.
I'm not
to
saying,
want-
I don't think we should reject it. I just wanna know what the plan is.
See, I'd like to get $10,000 more.
I know. If we're gonna
But
build
this-
here,
but This is a good number.
if we're gonna, I'm not, no, if they're gonna do something in this town, let them do it.
It'll have to be a written business
Yeah.
plan. Even
Correct.
if they say, we're gonna do this or this by this date
Yes,
or this.
correct. And then there's gotta be some teeth in it. If they don't follow the business plan.
Then
where they
what
get
are we gonna
penalized.
do about it? And they'll have to do that if it's for economic development, and it has to be for economic development, because this wasn't sold by a bid.
No. See, if we put it out for bid again,
Then they
anybody could bid on it. They
Do anything they
they
want.
do anything they want.
I,
And that's what we agreed
I
to do
think we
with this
should
property.
proceed forward and get that business plan. I like
We
it.
can always.
Because we're gonna
reject
get
it
something
when it
done
comes
there.
out, the plan, we don't like it.
And someone could buy it, like we just put it up for auction, they could have done nothing, or, to do nothing with it for 20 years.
But I'm good with it. I just, yeah, let's see the business plan. We can proceed forward, and if the business plan isn't something we're excited about, we can go from there.
We're correct.
Okay,
So I'll go on and try to work that out. I'll
let's
explain
proceed
to 'em
forward.
that we would prefer, we want to see business plan A and B, what you're gonna do, and we can take that back.
But I think what needs to be known is we don't need more money. That offer is
That's
great.
fine.
Yep.
It's fine with me.
It's suitable, for sure.
No, we're getting over market value. I think. Or at least market value,
I think we're probably right at market value.
so. I know the lots next door, he can buy for less. But they also don't have highway access.
Or utilities, there's already some utilities on the
Yeah,
problem. I mean, that's not a deal for somebody who puts in utilities.
Right. no. But I think it's a good deal for the town, cause he is committing to do, to put either housing or,
I'm certain whatever they do, that if we can get this deal done, whatever they do there will be good. It'll be nice.
yeah.
They've got a proven
Yeah,
record of
They-
doing
they
things
do.
nice and good and well.
Let's move forward.
okay. I'll move forward, under your directions. I'll try them what we need and move on. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
It was to a point I needed to bring it to the rest of the governing body and see if we move forward.
Sounds good.
Okay. Department head report, Public Works, Mike.
Mayor, council members. Wind River Oil Field Service has started work on the installation of the check valve on the 10-inch transmission line up by the, down below the tanks. That's the transmission line from wells 2, 5, and 6. Placement of the valve is below the tank, by which is known as the valve cluster. It's a detailed B on that. The project is scheduled to be completed by this Friday, the 14th, 2025. Then next Monday, March 17th, they will start demo and excavation at well number 5. Followed by tying in the yard piping at well number 5. March 24th, they will haul in material to build a pad for the building to set on. The last I knew of the precast pump houses are 12 weeks out. Tentative date for delivery is May 23rd. But once the work is completed at well 5, they will begin work on well 4. Once these 2 well houses are completed and operational, only then will the work begin on well number 2. But I got a call from Rob from Well Oil Services, and he didn't have the 290s for the bypass on that installation. He told me he would be able to get, he's going to look at getting one from either Billings or Casper tomorrow. They'll let you know. So he's kind of already put himself buying here. It's gonna be done.
Proven track record.
And yeah, the burn permit for the town has been approved by DEQ. Burning was approved from April 1st to June 1st. The times are from 9 AM to 5 PM. It was all smoke extinguished by 7. Mike Fletch has been studying for the lagoon certification. And I hope he will be ready to take his exam sometime this month for his lagoon certification. That's all I have.
One question for you. Are those skid houses or those pump houses on skid?
No, they're precast. They're gonna have a cement floor. So
Okay,
they just put them on. I
gotcha.
don't, they're gonna have the piping sticking up and so I don't.
Okay.
Try to build the pads up. So they just have pads.
Makes sense.
The buildings weigh 70,000 pounds,
70,000.
70,000.
That's it.
Rain.
The only thing I don't know is which one they're building first. We have 3 of them precast.
But well 4 is a little larger, right?
Yeah, well,
House.
4 will be. They're gonna have to build inside of that
Right.
for the chlorinator room. We're gonna have to do some carpentry work inside out. Yeah, it is a little bit near for the chlorination. Picking up the hypochlorite was yes. Yes, chlorine. The hypochlorite sits there too long. We don't really use that well moving forward. We'd have to, keep it using because the hypochlorite only has a 6-month life. Then it loses its strength. Yeah, and then anything above 84 degrees, it will start losing strength. And in the winter, that heater that's in there that don't really adjust, and it gets that pump out up to 120 degrees. Yeah, so there'll be gas chlorination. In the long run, it'll be better. Cause we could keep the gas, longer, stay put longer.
Thank you.
Third Street, east of town, I guess.
On that road.
Yeah, you guys went and looked at that. I was
Yeah,
kind
we
of
looked
curious
at it and
if it's,
we're thinking we could widen it, grade it.
and would you need anything?
We're probably gonna need some, road base. We're looking at it. Told Bart, to see if we can find the, property lines,
Okay,
so,
still kind of in the works on that.
yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
Cause I'm gonna have him blade that road tomorrow, but going into well number 5, 6, and 2. Is it pretty washboarded. There'll be a lot of trucks coming in.
Any chance you can blade Fourth and Fifth Street?
But after that, I'll have Bart go down and widen
Okay,
that road down
yeah, I was
It's
just
getting a little
curious.
rough.
Oh, Fourth and Fifth?
Yeah. Couple potholes in there
Where at?
on the west side of town.
And what's that? Oh, is it
Yeah.
blading too?
Yeah, mainly,
Uh,
mainly Fifth. I think
Mainly
Sixth is a
Fifth?
little bad too, coming on that one intersection. It's
I'll have
just from all the.
I'll have Mike look at it. He was filling potholes the other day, last week.
Okay.
I'll have him look at that over on Fourth Street.
Yeah, well, Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth, but mainly Fourth and Fifth
Okay,
on the west side.
all right, I'll have him check that once.
What about that development north of town, still Shoshoni property, and it's on the east side of the highway? They're larger parcels, they're, the small acreages.
That Third Street's what he's talking about out
Well,
there.
that's not, is that Third Street out there? No, not that far north.
Oh, you're talking north of town.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are another,
Oh, I think.
yeah, they're not, they're not,
they're in
they're not platted well, I won't say platted, they're not. The lots are irregular, and so they're off the grid, so they're not connected to city services. They're just annexed into the town.
Off Showbone.
No, you're talking off up here like Carey's Road,
Yeah, just as you're going down, I mean,
Towards the
uh.
airport.
well, no,
right.
actually, if you're headed north on Idaho, so
Yeah.
out of town, and they're on the east side,
Yeah,
but they're the far north edge of the town.
Oh, it's over by the church.
Yeah,
Yeah, by the church and then north of that even. And I know, just being out there, I mean, they feel pretty neglected, to be honest. And they feel like, and you talk about potholes, I mean, they're pretty cavernous, at least they have been. I haven't been out there since the fall, so I don't know, but they, I don't know if that's something, if we're looking at grading,
Yeah,
we're looking at,
that's where, I think Bart put a pipe in there the other year,
Last
and he
year.
was. They were supposed to grade it last year, I don't know if
I think well,
you got around to it.
I just know they feel neglected, yeah, that's what they told me when I was
Okay.
talking to people.
I'll have Bart look at that one too.
That'd be great, thanks.
I'll got him grade.
Yeah.
We forgot about that.
oh,
I
okay, yeah,
didn't know if you wanted to.
right,
mention that or not.
yeah. Guess we'll move on. Do you have anything, Jake, you'd like to talk about?
No,
Or on the round table?
nothing specific.
Tammy, would you like to talk
Nope.
about anything? Jordan, would you like to talk?
Yeah,
about
I had a community member bring up a issue on Third Street, east side of Third Street. Duplex, somebody's building well, not building, but creating a tire fence to the road of the town road on Third Street. All the way to the right of way. I drove by, looked at it today. Probably something to check out. They also have poly plastic line, 1/4 inch extension cord through it that is on the town road. That is now sitting under that,
How far down Third Street is it?
just past your place, about a half a block behind there's a trailer behind the two brothers that live there. And then it's the next one that is,
I'll take a look at it.
yeah. So that was brought to my attention as a concern. Took a look at it. Probably needs to be followed up. So anyway, that's all I got.
Mark, do you have anything?
So you're gonna have to help me with this, but
Okay.
the A2A project,
Yeah.
we're looking at the west end of town, the 40 acres and then the 70 or ish.
73.
Okay, on the other side, and just trying to, we've been talking about lots, getting lots sold and in the town, and that's really prime real estate to try to get that accomplished. And so it's under development, as you all know, and we've been waiting on some bids that Joel's working diligently to try to get. Some of it have actually come in now, based on recent communication this week. So it's the electrical, the gas, and then also the water. And the electrical and the gas we still don't have the gas estimate yet, do we?
No.
Yes, but the electrical has come in, so that's a good thing. And water is, it came in and it was an incredible, bid, but it was for the entire development. So where the suggestion from the committee is really working the development of the lots in phases. And so with the idea of it kind of going on, once you get the momentum going, then at that point, the rest of it, we can have the income to be able to finish and complete the rest of it. So it's not all at one time, try to get it out there and try to get it done. It's let's work in phases to try to get this accomplished. Joe, so could you talk about the electrical bid that came in and kind of that fun?
I got an electrical bid, I think it was today for the.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
it was
quick.
today.
Yeah.
I think it was today
Good.
and this morning, and we got an estimate, but that was to do the whole project. That was servicing 70 lots. That's bringing, the power would need to come from near the mushroom farm and up. But it'd also be set up to service the adjacent 73 acres on the east side. It would be able to do that also. But that the gross number was about $400,000. We'd get $100,000 rebate. That'd put it at 300,000. But that would be the complete project, which we don't need to do. So we got it, and I talked with Craig with Rocky Mountain about that. And so that's so that was one number that just came in. That until we look exactly what we're doing, but we needed a number, and that isn't a bid, but that's a rough number, but that's a ballpark. He said the number will be very close to that. But that would be the whole subdivision. That's what it would cost to do. And that would be so. But anyway, that was what we found out on that.
Getting that bid in is really important because that's been one of the roadblocks to trying to come to other conclusions. It's really stopping things from happening by not having.
Hard to
these
find a
bids.
grant for an unknown.
Right, correct.
Exactly, yeah. And again, so Joel's working with them to try to get them, if we only do this now, what would that be? Understanding that if we only do a partial, of that, then the next time it goes up to bid, or goes up to get estimated, it's gonna be a lot higher because that's just how construction goes. So, but again, the idea is we develop a certain number of lots, now have those be able to get sold, and then at that point, that money would come back in, and then we can go on to the next group and try to
Right.
just help it be somewhat, I'm gonna use the word self-sustaining. It probably still won't be self-sustaining, but it will be closer, I mean, it certainly would be closer. So
Well, that's,
I consider that progress. Just getting the bid, it was like progress. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, thank you. It's like, where have you been?
yeah, we had our estimator got sick on us, was part of the holdup, and he missed some work and stuff like, but he got that to us. Really having issues with, I even sat down and talked with John Myers, and who was part of our group also, and tried to get the estimator from Riverton to reach out and discuss with us. And they said they're gonna, the day before, they said they're gonna call you. They did, so we called again, and no answer. I also gave them John's number in case they missed me, and where they could talk to him. And but I really need to get her over here. I've been told it's a lady, and we need to go ahead and walk the lots and look it over and discuss. I don't know where the gas is gonna come from. Is it gonna come from town, or is it gonna come, where it's gonna come from? It's gonna come off a line, is our main line, trunk line in town, big enough to serve it, or we're gonna have to come from the highway across? I don't know. I don't
I think
know any
it's
of
on the
those.
south side of the highway, west of town, I
Yeah,
think.
yes, it is. So where are we gonna have to bring it from? I don't know. So, but in any event, it could be something simple. We can just come off Maple Street, bring it over, don't know, we can't with the power. We can't with the power. So it's gotta come, because the town's service won't service that. So that's kind of where we're at with that, but we're moving forward with our, and then when I put out the letter from the mayor, I had I think not a bad description on A2A in that letter to explain to the public sort of what that A2A is and who's on it. But that's something that is a great help to me and the town to try to help put this together. So, anything else?
No, sir.
It's I'd like to talk one thing. I think we used to have the clinic here for dogs, cats. I think we ought to try to do that again.
Hey, Joel, are you talking about a vet being?
Yeah, having a vet.
There is, I talked to Kathy and Melissa, and there is a vet that comes.
Jim
Doc
Riddle.
Riddle.
Yeah.
Comes to the
Riddle
rec center and does it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we need to do that again.
He does it
Which they
already.
are. Yeah,
Every
He
So
goes to
they're
the-
doing it. He's doing that.
He
Yeah.
goes to the rec center and does it. The
Yeah,
rec center over
Yeah.
here does it.
because I get it done every year.
Michelle Rambo with the rec department does that
The vaccinations are
already.
much more
she and Kathy.
A lot cheaper.
cheaper doing it there.
Is the date May 10th?
May 10th.
So we
Okay.
just need to try and do a better job of getting out to everybody to make sure they go there, get
Well-
their dog tagged and.
Well,
So what Kathy explained to me is she's waiting on the rec center to get her the flyers and
Okay,
stuff, so.
but we need to get the town involved in that.
100%.
Because I feel we have a dog issue in Shoshoni, and we need to address it.
Isn't there usually somebody there
Yeah, Kathy goes and.
from the
she
town
said
to
that-
do
yeah,
tags?
Yeah, the town is part of it.
But we're gonna advertise it.
We do every
We
year.
do.
Okay.
And Kathy's the one that
Okay.
sits there and gives that.
That's
town
where we
tag.
license ours. when we
Yeah.
Cause they
get them
do,
licensed.
yeah, we get the tags. And,
But there, boom, here's my vaccination record, boom, here's my tag, it's in and
Yeah.
out.
and we have all of the records.
I haven't seen the city advertise it. The town of Shoshone put it on our
It does
website.
every year.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Like last year Kathy said.
I didn't remember
asked-
doing it last year. No, we used to do it.
Yeah, I asked Kathy
still
how
do.
many
Okay,
she thought were
Okay.
actually there last year. And there
sure.
was about 50 people.
Okay, well,
So,
But
Yeah.
anyway, I think we need to start enforcing.
The other deal, a lot of times if you can talk with Dr. Brittle, if you're unable to make it on the 10th, he'll work with you
Mhm.
on clinic prices.
Okay,
Oh,
Not, sometimes
Yeah.
if they can, so if you can't make May 10th. Call Doc Brittle and see if we can work something out. Cause you gotta have your vaccination records to
yeah,
get your license through your tags through the town.
He's
Sorry to
And he's
interrupt.
really good about,
but I
he's
think we
really
need
good
to
about
start
going in the back
enforcing
of your
this.
truck and giving your dog
Oh,
the
yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
If you don't wanna take them out with all the other dogs.
I think we need to start enforcing it. We have dogs killing dogs, tearing them apart. Dogs, yeah, what about that little dog? that killed
They were
her?
dealt with.
Huh?
They were dealt with.
Yeah, so, I mean, we got dogs running loose in town.
When we catch them, we deal with them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of our officers got chewed up and missed
Yeah.
time. We deal with it. I think a lot of the issue that you're talking about is more dogs barking in the evening as well as dogs getting out and running amok. Obviously, sometimes we're not everywhere omnipresent.
Well, sure,
So when a dog is being out there, it's a matter of reporting and letting us know, the citizens calling and saying, hey, we got a dog loose. Hey, 10 o'clock at night, dogs are barking at this address. So when we're driving around at night patrolling, your windows are up, you're driving, you're not hearing dogs barking necessarily. But if you're knowing it's an issue, you can turn the engine off, roll your windows down, listen, where's that dog coming from? And then once it's sustained barking, then it's a nuisance violation that we need to go and enforce.
yeah, a certain amount of dog barking is dogs are dogs.
I agree with that,
Yeah,
but
no, well, but when they bark for hours.
That's
It is an issue.
But
That's
the,
the
the, the nuisance law that we have does not set parameters of a time.
Right.
It's, the nuisance is an ongoing nuisance. It's something that's aggravating, infuriating, that's relentless. So, but that requires citizens stating, hey, there's a problem here.
Sure.
Because otherwise, if I just hear dogs barking, no one cares. Is it a nuisance? No,
My
it's
dog
not.
barks quite a bit.
Your
One
dog
of
gets that all the time too, but it goes
What?
home.
one of my dogs barks quite a bit, but there's also a cat that walks freely.
That's what I'm
around,
talking about.
And
And what's a
he's-
nuisance?
it's my girl dog. She barks at the cat because the cat
Yeah.
sits at the fence and knows the dog can't get out. So one of my dogs is an escape artist,
He is.
and he's probably known as the town dog. I'll be the first to admit it. I get texts from the Rozas. Oh, your dog just came through the doggy door.
Oh,
You know, so
I'll
and
feed him and I'll come get him.
yeah, well, they hangs out for a while, and then next thing you know, he's home. You know, so
That's,
and I have a fenced yard, and it doesn't matter. Like
but I'll give you an example. There's a dog that's lives on the west side of
super
town.
friendly.
It's been getting out here recently.
She's
It's
a-
kind of,
I
I guess you'd call it maybe a little aggressive. The lady came up to me and one of my officers 2 days ago and asked us to shoot her dog for her
oh my.
because she couldn't control her dog.
You know,
That's the problem that we have in this town. It's, if you're putting the onus on the police department to go in there and enforce this, it takes, what I'm trying to say is there needs to be some citizen involvement in this rectifying this problem and not just saying, police department handle this. There needs to be some citizen acknowledgement and ownership of their issues, and that comes with enforcement. But I'm just letting you know the gravity of some of the mindset here is that you get a dog, you no longer want that dog. So the easiest way is not take care of it, let it run out, and then expect the police department to come and put your dog down for you. That's not,
Disgusting.
so that person, I
That's
pretty much, I
that's the
almost
escape artist.
have a,
He's even on a chain, and he knows how.
point is that that's one of the dogs that I know you're talking
Back
about.
leg,
One of them
you know,
that runs around on this
gotta
side of
get
town.
that damn chain.
Well, I know of two dogs
I'm not talking about.
This is the
Yeah.
other dog,
come in my yard.
and she got him.
And so,
Chalk.
You know, when the dogs are out and we see the dogs out, we find where they go. Yes, we do issue citations for dog at large, and that's what we do, but the problem is if we don't know about it, we're over here, the dog's out, and then it goes back home, and then the next day, hey, this dog was getting out. Was it out right now?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well,
one
it
of
needs
those
to be
things.
documented.
People need to call. If they don't know, they
Yeah.
can't do anything about it. If
Mhm.
somebody doesn't say something.
What about all the
Isn't that
cats
the
at
point?
large?
Cats are feral, we don't deal with cats.
And my old neighbor Tony Yakubowski stole my daughter's cat, didn't steal it. Cat moved in with him across the street for like 6 months. Those were the good old days. Hey, that's my cat.
But I'm agreeing, but we just need to have a better reporting mechanism of knowing the issues exist and where they exist, then it's great. Okay, you report a dog got out 3 days ago and killed my chickens. Okay, we're aware of that now. Where's that dog live? Do you know where it lives? Yeah, it lives right over there. Okay, is the dog now in that yard? Mind you, it's 3 days prior. I can go to contact that person. You know, did your dog get out? Do you have pictures? Because it goes into a court of evidence. If we're going to charge them criminally, we have to, beyond a reasonable doubt, prove
Yeah.
that dog, in fact, did what you are saying it did.
Sure.
So,
I know my dog eat me.
no, I'm just throwing out examples. I'm just trying to say that we need to have a better mechanism, and we have those mechanisms, but it needs to be more commonly used than just expect us to be, you know, have ESP and know where problems are.
Well, most dogs, I think, are wagging their tails, oh, pet me, pet me.
No, there's
pet
a
me.
couple of them suckers that run
Yeah.
around that
Well,
are
I've about
little
most
evil,
are.
That's
evil little bastards.
yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, is that we need to have a little bit of assistance in knowing where the problem dog is.
Sure.
You see, I mean, if we see where they're coming from, we're gonna chase the dog and.
There's a
Yeah.
white one that
But-
runs around that's about yay high. And I haven't seen it for a while, and it's not the white one that was at Fast Lane that could not be caught.
Well, it was caught.
Well, yeah, not that one, but it was a different white one. I've seen it a time or two, but it runs around and that's some bitch. Oh, excuse my language, but
So,
it's an evil. Like we've been out walking with the kids and I mean, it runs up. You
and
gotta
those are
rubber
things that
walk.
we want to know about in
But-
real time. If able to, so we can deal with it in real time before
I
it becomes an
understand,
issue,
but it's
is what
kind
I'm
of one
trying
of
to
those
say.
things too. I just
And,
chew.
you know,
It ain't chewing my leg off, it's just barking at me and growling and showing its teeth and
but if you go on our police department Facebook, you'll see almost the majority of our posts are dogs that we've captured.
Mhm.
So we are collecting dogs when we see them.
Even Molly got on the wall of
Yeah.
fame.
my dog's been on the wall faded.
Yeah, so- But-
somebody's dog. Hey, it looks a lot like my dog. Check this. Oh.
But the issue that I'm noticing at night when I'm home, away from anything else, is hearing dogs barking at 11 o'clock at night. That people are just letting bark, and that,
Mine's
I
inside.
agree, needs to be dealt with. Dogs getting out that are attacking other animals needs to be addressed immediately, and things like that need to be addressed immediately and not
Right.
put off. I need the citizens' help to report those so we can,
Yeah.
so we can deal with those.
If they don't report, there's nothing you can do.
And that's all I'm saying. You know,
Agreed.
we need to do the enforcement, but we also need a little bit of assistance in doing
Well,
that.
that's what I'm thinking. We need to get the word out.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
So
We need to get the word out
we need to do better.
that we want to, that we can and will do something.
Yep.
Then
All right, I'm ready to go home.
everybody ought to tag them.
Okay, I think we all should go home now.
I'd like to,
Joel,
what?
I did have one question,
Okay,
just because I don't know why it's set this way, if there's a reason for it, and if it's up where we could change it. On council pay, because I know when we had to do the forms, if somebody has to do a ticker to who was at each council meeting, meeting after meeting, and if we didn't have that, like, last year. Melissa didn't do it, which she usually had done it in the past. So we had to go through and pull up each individual agenda. and
Okay,
see
because it's in our
the
minutes.
Yeah, which is talking to me. So what I was wondering is, how is it set that the council is paid once a year?
By statute.
That's by statute?
Yeah.
No, it's by ordinance.
Town ordinance.
Oh, it's by ordinance? So what was the reason for just once a year?
That's how it was set when I started.
Probably because 20 years ago it was $5 a meeting or something.
State, what's the minimum is like,
Well, 20 years ago, I said.
$10.
oh, is it?
Back,
The amount of pay is set by statute.
right.
The
What I'm
range that
saying
can be paid,
back
but
then,
frequency is set by ordinance.
Yeah, and I'm saying back when it, many years ago, it was probably only paid once a year because it was
So small.
so small that it didn't accumulate to anything. So
Yeah.
pay you one time, this here's your $100 type situation.
I guess I mean, in the end, I guess it doesn't matter. You're paid by meetings. However frequent you're paid is whatever, but
I will speak because I actually talked to you two about it a couple meetings ago. Said I would prefer to be paid monthly, but I think each councilman maybe could have their own choice. I don't know why it has to be one way or the other.
Yeah.
Some people like yearly, some people prefer it
I think it
monthly.
would, I think it would. I think it would get confusing. Some people be on yearly, some people be on monthly. Be a
Well-
set. Like monthly for everybody. Or
No, I don't
like it
that.
is yearly for
I would
everybody.
prefer it that way personally. And if it's easier for you to track,
Yeah,
To me, a lot of this is what makes it easier for you.
yeah,
That really is the bottom line for me. I don't
Well,
care, but
okay.
what makes it easier for you is my big deal.
well, and that's why I was asking, because I know when we had to do it this year. Because there was no ticker for who was present. It is time consuming to go through each individual.
Pretty simple to do it at the meeting.
Minutes,
I mean, just. you
well, and
could-
that's how it used to be, I think, with the. Sign in, didn't it? Or no,
no, it's when we were in one unified office, big, town hall, Minnesota, the front desk lady was right there to do it. Now we're separated and compartmentalized a little bit, so
okay,
there's other ways to do it, I guess, but I mean,
I was just wondering what the reasoning was.
I don't think there was a
And how it
reasoning,
was
but
set.
wasn't something that we said, it was something that was already set by ordinance.
Oh,
We've always done it that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no,
rhyme or reason.
I just work here.
I don't see why it can't get with the times.
We can. We can look at when we do our ordinance change, because that's a major deal to change ordinance. You just can't, we just don't
No.
vote on it today and it happens.
No.
Yeah, it would be at 3 readings because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
actual town ordinance, so it'd have to go through 3 readings
Advertise it.
and yeah, advertise it, all that stuff. So that'd be the process, I guess, to answer that.
Makes sense.
Then it'd be a vote of the council. 3 times. Make the rules, I just work here.
Are we ready to go home now?
Yeah.
No, I said I have something else I wanted to talk about. We never did discuss Citizen of the Year. We did not talk about it at
Yeah,
our
we
last
forgot to
council
bring
meeting.
it on.
And I'd like to say Bart Broman won Citizen of the Year, town employee. There were 70 votes cast total. To my knowledge, that's the most I've ever been involved with, 70 votes. So we had a lot of citizen participation, more than we've ever had before. I believe there was 15 nominees. So we had a good participation with a lot of people. A lot of people felt that there was many good people in the town of Shoshone, and I just wanted to mention, I apologize for not mentioning this the last meeting,
Yeah, I forgot. to.
but I just wanted to bring that up, that Bart Roman did win that, and there was a lot of good people nominated also, but I just wanted to touch bases with that.
Well, congrats to Bart.
And it was saying that I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Been by Councilman Hartke, second by Councilman Whitener. Any further discussion, non-being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion's passed, all in the affirmative. 8:28 PM.
29.